guys, this is Red from Red's Third Dimension Gaming, and today I'm going to bring you a review on Toukiden, The Age of Demons. And this game is an action RPG game that comes from the same people that made Dynasty Warriors, the same old hack and slash, which they actually, I believe they get better every time, but this is a brand new IP and it's pretty freaking amazing. The story takes place in a town called Toukiden. It's kind of small, but you can actually interact with people, you can buy weapons, you can upgrade your weapons. It's pretty awesome. Unlike some games that decide to take out towns, they leave that element of RPG in there. Now the gameplay style is kind of a mix between Monster Hunter, which I haven't really played much of, but I've heard from other people and seen about it that Monster Hunter and Dynasty Warriors kind of mix them together, and that's the gameplay style you have in this game. It kind of does get repetitive. It's square, triangle, and then you have certain buttons, and if you tap on the screen, you get into this mode where you can see how much more damage you need to do against the monster you're facing. It's pretty sweet. First, you start off and you can create your character to look how you want him to look. I try to make mine look like Momiji from Ninja Gaiden, which I think I did a pretty decent job. They don't talk throughout the whole story. Everything's in Japanese, so if you don't like Japanese in your games, you're not gonna like the voice acting is all Japanese. I'm surprised that all they did is pretty much made all the subtitles in English and from the Japanese version. That's all I think they did, and this game came out last year in Japan. I'm surprised that's all they did with it. When they had plenty of time, they could have got some voice actors, but maybe it's a good thing because sometimes voice actors from Japanese to English are pretty bad. So it's not that big of a deal for me. I enjoy the Japanese language once in a while. Now when you're creating your character, you can choose between having either like a big sword or you can have katanas. It's one of them type of games where you get to choose what kind of style you're going to play with. You can always switch them later on in the game. You can also upgrade your weapon as you're playing the game. It's an RPG game. You can upgrade your weapons, you can switch to a bow, you can decide what you want to do, but you can only use one weapon at a time. Now the game is pretty repetitive, so that's where the only thing it might fall flat in is people might be like, oh, I don't want to play it because it's just like blah blah blah, it's hack and slash. That's pretty much all it is. That's all there is to it. I sometimes had trouble with camera angles, with moving the camera around when I was fighting under a big giant boss. That's my only little problem with the gameplay, the camera angles. Don't get me wrong, the graphics are decent, but I think they could be better. They're still kind of like a PSP to Vita, like it's in between there. It's not totally full HD like Vita. I think the graphics could be. The one thing that is unique to this game is something called Matama, and after you defeat a story boss, one of the big bosses in the game, one of these demons, after you beat them, you can attach these demons to your weapons, so it'll actually give you a boost. It'll help the protagonist in his or her battles, and what it does is it adds a little bit of strategy to your combat. Something that the Matama do is they can add attributes to your character to help them in the battle, like sometimes healing, sometimes giving your character small amounts of health when they need it. Sometimes it'll give them replenishing spells after a battle. They each do something different and unique. How you play the main story, it's pretty much just mission based. If you've ever played, there was a game on the Vita called Call of Duty. I'm not saying this game is Call of Duty, but that's how it's like. There's missions and you select, like it's not even close to Call of Duty, it's a lot better than that. You just walk over to you and she will get you in a mission, and yeah, you just choose whatever mission's available, and that's pretty much how the whole mission setup is. You can also give a little bit of a donation right before battle, and the gods can either give you like a little boost of something, level you up, or they can give you nothing at all. Depends on how much you give and whatnot. Now the bosses in this game, I think they're really cool looking. I've came across some pretty unique looking characters, and the demons in here are called Oni, and if you ever played Onimusha, you know what an Oni is. is something to do with Japanese mythology. I haven't gotten to play the online, but I can see where it'd be really fun, because you can play up to 4 people online with the missions unlocked from the main campaign. But even when you're not playing with them, you can still play with AI characters, and they'll actually be helpful. They don't just go around and do nothing. I actually had one kill something on its own. They actually are useful. So the AI aren't complete drones that do nothing. I think it's nice that you get a partner no matter what in the game. For those of you that aren't real good and don't understand any of the game, there's also a tutorial that you can do towards the beginning of the game. And pretty much the story is based upon the Oni and the mythology of that. It's not a real deep story, it's just pretty much you gotta kill. Basically, you're sent there to help protect their village and save them against the Oni. And one other complaint about the graphics is sometimes I noticed, like, I'll be walking by and sometimes the environment disappears to like the left. Like if I go into like a corner, randomly it'll just disappear. Overall, this game is really cool. I like the gameplay, although I like Dynasty Warriors, but this game's different. It's a brand new IP. I'm glad to see them doing something other than just Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, it's just a fun Vita game. I haven't had a Vita game to play for a while that has come out this year. This is one of the top Vita games that sold really well in Japan, and I hope it sells really well over here, because I'd love to see a sequel to this. So overall, I'd give this game a 4 out of 5. The highlights are the monsters and the demons. They look pretty cool. The 4-player cooperative mode that's pretty awesome, that you can play up to 4 people online. And the fact that it's something new from Team Omega Force other than Dynasty Warriors. The gameplay is also a plus. I really don't get bored by it, especially with the Matama feature that they added. That's a pretty cool feature, that you get these souls after defeating certain demons in the story. The only shortcomings the game had were some of the graphical environment weren't as nice as what I'd like to see, and some of the rendering of certain environments when you're walking by them, sometimes they disappear. Also, the story wasn't as deep as some games, so that could be a negative in some people's eyes, but with this type of game, it's not really that big of a deal for me. So overall, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I would definitely buy it. It's one of the few Vita games that is out this year that is really fun. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the review, give me a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. See ya.